perhaps she was anticipating some sort of pandemic in Homa Bay. Because if you look at the numbers here, out of the 1.2 billion realized from as on-source revenue, 841 million is from hospital charges. And that is very worrying to me, because I'm wondering, why do you need a board? I thought that board is for revenue is supposed to come up with creative ways to raise revenue for the entity governor. Just sitting there at level 4 and waiting for people to come and pay hospital fees is not very creative. And the people of this country have heard stories about how healthcare is supposed to be free. What happens, Governor, when we achieve true universal healthcare? The entire revenue model for Homa Bay will collapse.
You may have noticed that the budget for hospital fees was 1.8 billion. I think that was the original budget, 1.8 billion. Yeah, so maybe, so what's the science around these numbers? Because there needs to be, if you're doing zero-based budget, you don't just wake up and plug in a number, put a number in the air. It must be aligned to certain factors.
Chair, maybe
Senator Chorage, then the governor can answer.
I want to agree with Senator Sifuna because, and you know, we have passed Facilities Improvement Act, which now separates the revenue that goes to hospital. And I'm trying to look at the revenue streams of Homa Bay under receiver of revenue. Chair, apart from the revenue that are generated through the hospital, what is, maybe the fiscal analyst can tell us, Chair, what is the revenue potential of Homa Bay? That what is the revenue potential? Of course, as a county of endless potential, what is the revenue? Number two, Chair, these revenue streams looks like they have not been announced, and the projection that there has been consistency in trend analysis looks more cosmetic as opposed as to real on what is happening in terms of harmonizing. So, Governor, this board, since it, apart from just isolate the issue of revenue that is generated by the hospitals, give us what are the total revenue streams and this inconsistency between the financial years that Mr. Alphonse were as analyzed from financial year 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and I think up to 2023, 2024. So that would be would settle my mind. And maybe before Governor answers, Chair, with your indulgence, maybe the fiscal analyst, I don't know whether Salat is here.
Salat is here. You can give us
the revenue
potential.
Potential.
Homa Bay has really surpassed this revenue potential. The revenue potential for Homa Bay is 1,024,200,000. So they have really surpassed the.
Okay.
So that assessment by the CRA indicators. So maybe on the other part, on the issue of revenue streams, maybe the governor can tell us and whether all the collection of revenue has been digitized, and whether they own the domain and who runs, or do they pay the agency fees in terms of the running and collection of revenue, whether it is automated, Chair, so that but we really want to know other revenue streams, Chair. I yield.
Senator Gachagua.
Thank you, Chair. I want to end on the question posed by Senator Sifuna. One would be interested to know now that we have a board in place which is supposed to oversee the administration of the revenue and so forth. So away from the area of the sector, which is coming out very significantly, which is collecting around 841 million, we have some other streams like market dues with very little collection. We have beach fee services, very little collection. So what is the success story about this board?
Okay.
If you delete, if you are not considering area of the sector, I mean, other streams are almost like there's nothing being collected from those other streams.
fine. The question, the last one by Senator Cherargei on systems, because it's a substantive audit issue, we can deal with it by referring to the audit report. But maybe just go back to the issues raised by the senators, and maybe we sound cynical because we are not used to success stories within the public finance space. The PBO is telling us that your revenue potential is 1 billion. You have exceeded it. I mean, it is a kind of, we should be congratulating you, but you need to prove to us those numbers. Your revenue potential is 1 billion, but you had a budget of 2.3 billion. That also brings to doubt the projections from the CRA, because if Homa Bay can project 2.3B and they are doing 1.2B, unless those projections exclude hospital fees, because there is a conversation around hospital fees, whether they should be here, and yet you've got facility improvement financing, which should segregate the numbers. But Governor, you may respond. We are happy to listen to a success story.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and I thank the senators for their questions. So Senator Sifuna said, if we remove the health sector revenues, will our revenue model collapse? So first, I'd like to state that when we came to Homa Bay in 2022-23, our revenue, inclusive of the health sector revenue, was 300. Was it 200? Yeah, it was 234 million, which means that.
Which financial year is that?
That was 2019-20 or 2021-22. 2021-22. So starting from that point, inclusive of the revenue generated from healthcare, we wanted to see how to consolidate our revenue. The revenue.
Accuracy, just on accuracy, Governor.
Yeah.
I thought the report has been done by Were. Why don't the Governor quote the exact figure, and it is here. This is on receiver of revenue 21-22. This is your receiver of revenue statements for financial year 20, but you have given analysis of 21-22.
How much?
311,995,474.
21-22. Okay.
And then in 22-23 is 859,454,023. And now in 2023-2024 is 1.2 billion 495,830.
Thank you.
Yeah, but it demonstrates what you're saying.
So I think the point I was trying to make there is that inclusive of the healthcare revenue, the revenue was still performing very, very low. So one of the things we had to do within our facilities is to see also how do we consolidate the revenue, because this revenue goes back to provide healthcare to the people. So so in the first place, our revenue improvement plan had to include our health sector revenue, because we felt there was also something going on there that we could work together to improve. And that is why we moved it from the 311 and to 2022-2023. No, 2022-2023. It was 600 and 859. So Senator Sifuna, even working within what we have, even in terms of healthcare revenue, there has still been significant improvement, even in that sector alone. And that improvement reflects then on the level of service within the facilities. Then coming to the other revenue streams. If you look at land rates, for example, actual revenues in 2022-2023 was 5.9 million, and then actual revenues in 2023-24 was 8.3 million. That is for land rates as an example. If you look at single business permits, in 2022-2023, there were 61,770,000. If you look at 2023-2024, we moved from 61 million to 99 million. And in 2024-2025, we are at 101 million. So we have, because of the revenue administration measures, including the board, we have had improvement, not just in the health revenue, but in all our revenue streams because of the order that has been created.
Governor, you might be looking at a different document because mine is 64 million for 2022-2023 for single business permits.
Yeah, the report. Report that I have here is 61 million. What you have average, like we're doing at the moment, these monies continue to come because people don't pay out of pocket, but they're paid, the insurance pays the facilities. NHIF pays, but SHA pays even more now for facilities because the registration is higher. In terms of fish landing, Mr. Chairman, you are a fisherman yourself, and you know that it has been very, very difficult to harness a revenue stream like fish landing because people have been landing over the years for free. So these are streams that we are introducing, and we are working day and night with our beach management units to try and get them to help us to get these fish landing fees. So fish cess and fish landing are streams that have been nearly non-existent, but they are streams that we are harnessing slowly. But you know that with the protests that we had, it has been very, very difficult to introduce, taxes that did not exist well, because people are very, very jittery about paying new monies. But we are discussing constantly. Even when you look at the fish cess, it is some of the things that were very, very low, but we are growing them, and we are growing them slowly. But we have them as streams because we want to grow them. But you can't grow them alone. You can't be at the beaches and everywhere. You have to grow them in partnership with the beach management units. Those processes sometimes do take time. But Chairman, the point I was making is that overall...
Maybe before you lose it, because as you have said, I'm a fisherman. This committee would not be the one to advocate that you put some tax for boats to land on beaches that existed even before Kenya became Kenya. But your receiver of revenue should have pointed you to a stream called beach service fee, which fetched 10.9 million, where there was a growth from 7 to 10.9. So I think the BMUs underassess. So the BMUs are paying something. Let the message not go out that the Senate is asking for enforcement of landing fees for boats. That will be, there'll be an uprising.
Protecting yourself politically or
Chair, first of all,
of interest?
Chair, first of all,
protect indigenous communities.
the governor.
Chairman.